The deep black of space was silent. No stars moved. No ships passed. Only the quiet hum of eternity surrounded the small rescue vessel Odyssey 9 as it drifted toward the last coordinates of a long-lost signal. Commander Alex Ward had vanished 7 years ago. His ship, Horizon 1, was declared lost after entering a dark region near the Vega Belt. Every search mission had failed. People had stopped believing. His name had become a sad memory in old mission reports. Another brave human who never came home. But today, everything changed. A faint transmission had reached Earth, a distress signal repeating over and over. "This is Commander Alex Ward. Survivors. Need help?" The voice was weak, broken, filled with static. Yet it was enough to awaken hope across the world. Humanity listened. And they sent Odyssey 9 Captain Riley Chen, the rescue commander, stared at the holographic screen. "Signal strength increasing." "We're close," said her co-pilot. Riley nodded, her voice tense. "Let's pray it's not another ghost signal." They entered the Vega Belt, a region known as Sector 0, filled with radiation storms and shattered asteroids. Every sensor glitched. Every compass spun. No ship had ever returned from it. "Ma'am, I have visual contact," said the co-pilot. "Something's floating ahead. Looks like a wreck. The Horizon 1. It drifted silently, half-broken, its hull scarred and dark. No lights, no power. Just a shadow in space." Riley's heart pounded. "Prepare docking." As they locked onto the old ship, a strange static hiss filled the comms. Something was interfering with their signals, almost like another presence was listening. Inside Horizon 1, the air was still. Frozen dust floated like tiny stars. Broken equipment lay scattered. "Life signs?" Riley asked. The medic scanned the readings. 3 faint signals? Human range, maybe. Very weak. They moved carefully through the dim corridors until a faint light flickered at the far end. A voice whispered through a cracked speaker. "Is someone there?" Riley froze. "Alex Ward? This is Captain Chen. We're here to bring you home." Silence. Then the door slid open with a heavy groan. There he was, Commander Alex Ward. He looked thinner, older, his beard rough and his eyes sharp, but alive. He held a small light in one hand and a strange metal staff in the other. The air around him felt heavy, electric, as if something invisible was watching. Behind him stood 2 alien women. Their skin shimmered faintly under the emergency lights, one silver blue, the other pale green. Their eyes were large and gentle, filled with fear, and both of them were clearly pregnant. Riley's crew froze. No one spoke. The silence felt like a storm waiting to break. Alex raised his hand slowly. "Don't be afraid. They're not a threat." His voice was calm but tired, like a man who had seen too much. The medic whispered, "Commander, what happened to you?" Alex looked down for a moment. "It's a long story," he said softly. "But we need to leave, now. This place isn't safe." As he spoke, the walls around them trembled. Strange sounds echoed through the ship. Low metallic growls like something enormous was moving outside. Riley looked toward the scanner. "What the hell was that?" Alex's expression turned grave. "It followed us here." The crew exchanged worried looks. "What followed you?" He hesitated. "A hunter. A machine. Or maybe something alive. It doesn't stop. It listens to signals, even voices." The lights flickered. The sound grew louder. Riley shouted, "Back to the ship now!" They rushed through the corridors. Alex supported one of the alien women who struggled to walk. The other kept glancing behind, her eyes glowing faintly in the dark. As they neared the docking bay, a shadow passed over the window. Something massive, covered in red lights, moving like a living storm. The hull shook violently. "Move!" Riley ordered. The rescue crew and survivors jumped aboard Odyssey 9. The docking clamp released just as a burning red beam sliced through the Horizon 1, cutting it in half. Engines at full, the ship sped away, dodging debris and plasma bursts. Alex held onto the alien women as the ship trembled. One of them cried out in pain, clutching her stomach. "She's going into labor!" The medic shouted. Alex's eyes widened. "Not now. Not here." Riley turned toward him. "Commander, what's going on?" "Who are they?" He looked out the window at the dying wreck of his old ship. "They're the reason I survived," he said quietly. "And maybe they're the reason humanity will survive too." The crew exchanged stunned looks, but before anyone could speak, the radar screamed. The creature was still following them. "Brace for jump," Riley shouted. The stars blurred as the ship entered hyperspace. The creature vanished into the distance, but its red eyes burned in Alex's memory. Minutes later, silence returned. Everyone was shaken but alive. The alien women slept under thermal blankets. Alex sat by them, exhausted, whispering softly in a language no one understood. Riley walked over and said, "You've been missing for 7 years, Commander. The world thought you were dead. And now you show up with them." Alex looked up, his eyes distant. "I wish I was dead," he said quietly. "Because what's coming will change everything." He looked through the viewport at the distant stars. The signal that saved him might also have awakened something else, something ancient and dangerous. 7 years earlier, before the rescue, before the signal, Commander Alex Ward had been completely alone. His ship, Horizon 1, had fallen from the stars and crashed on a nameless, silent planet. The ground was cracked and gray, the sky a sickly green. There were no trees, no wind, no birds, just endless silence. His communicator was dead, his power cells nearly empty, and the air outside could barely keep a human alive. For the first week, Alex believed he would die there. Every sunrise looked the same. Every night he stared at the stars, wondering which one was Earth. He talked to his helmet camera just to hear a voice, even if it was his own. But one night, the silence broke, a faint vibration shook the ground, then a sound, and low and distant, like a heartbeat under the surface. Alex grabbed his flashlight and climbed a nearby ridge. From the top, he saw a faint blue glow in the distance, deep within a canyon. He hesitated, then started walking. His suit's oxygen alarm beeped with every step. After hours of climbing and sliding down rocks, he reached a large metal door half buried in dust. Strange symbols covered its surface, not human but deliberate like ancient writing. "Is someone here?" he whispered. The door opened. Warm light spilled out, and for the first time in months, Alex felt something close to hope. Inside was a tunnel made of smooth black stone. The walls pulsed with a soft blue light, like veins carrying energy. He followed it until he reached a wide chamber, and stopped. 2 figures stood there, tall and thin, with smooth skin that shimmered faintly. Their eyes glowed gently, not with anger or fear, but with curiosity. Alex froze. His heart pounded. "I don't mean harm," he said, raising his hands. They tilted their heads, studying him. One of them touched a panel on the wall, and a hologram appeared, showing the stars, planets, and strange ships. Then she pointed to Earth's sun. Alex's breath caught. "You know Earth?" The 2 aliens looked at each other, then nodded slowly. They could not speak his language, but they could understand pictures, sounds, and gestures. Over time, Alex and the 2 survivors, who he later called Lyra and Neva, began to communicate. Lyra, the silver-blue one, was quiet and calm. She spent hours repairing the broken machines in the underground base. Neva, the green-skinned one, was curious and emotional. She would watch Alex mimic his movements and laugh in a soft, musical way. They shared food, or something close to food, a glowing gel that tasted like metal and honey. Alex learned to breathe the air deeper underground where old filters still worked. Slowly, they became a family of survivors. Months passed. Alex built a shelter near the main chamber, repaired one of his suit's communication panels, and tried sending distress signals. But no reply ever came. Then the dreams began. He saw flashes of Earth burning, cities in ruins, people screaming. But when he woke, there was no memory of sending any message. Sometimes the lights in the base flickered in strange patterns, almost like Morse code. One night, Alex followed the lights deeper underground. There, he found a massive machine half buried in crystal rock. It pulsed like a living heart. The metal was warm to the touch. Symbols covered the walls. One of them was the Earth flag carved centuries ago. "How is this possible?" he whispered. The next morning, Lyra touched her stomach and looked frightened. Neva did the same. Their eyes met with confusion and fear. They led Alex to a small room filled with glowing blue mist. Inside, a device was active, a strange pod that hummed quietly. It looked like some kind of medical chamber. Neva pointed at Alex, then at the pod, then at herself. Her hands trembled. Alex didn't understand at first. But when he scanned the room, his display showed faint human DNA traces mixed with alien particles. He stumbled back, shocked. No, that's not possible. The pod had somehow fused his blood and from an old wound and into their healing system. The radiation, the alien tech, the energy, that it had changed them. Both women were now carrying life that wasn't purely alien. From that day, the base no longer felt safe. The ground shook more often. The air vibrated with low mechanical growls from far above. Alex went outside to check the sky. He saw it, a dark shape vast as a mountain floating silently among the clouds. Red lights blinked beneath it like eyes. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't a creature. It was something in between. Lyra gripped his arm, her expression full of terror. She whispered a word he didn't know, but the meaning was clear. Hunter. Days turned into chaos. The hunter began scanning the surface, burning holes through the ground with beams of red energy. Every time Alex tried to send a new signal, the machine would appear, as if it could sense transmissions. He shut down the beacon and led the two women deeper underground. But the tunnels started collapsing. Their power source was dying. One night, as they hid in the dark, Neva touched his hand and whispered something soft. Her way of saying thank you. She was scared, but she smiled. Alex squeezed her hand. We'll get out of here, he said. I promise. Weeks later, Lyra found an old alien shuttle buried under rubble. Alex spent days repairing it, using parts from Horizon 1. Every moment was a fight against exhaustion and time. When they finally activated the engines, the ground above them exploded. The hunter had found them. Alex shouted, "Hold on!" As the shuttle blasted upward through fire and smoke, the planet cracked open below them, glowing red like a dying heart. They escaped the sky just as the world collapsed into itself, swallowed by silence forever. In the emptiness of space, the three survivors drifted quietly. The stars looked close, yet cold and distant. Lyra touched her stomach again, her eyes shining with tears. Neva slept beside her. Alex watched them both, wondering what fate had given him, and what price he'd have to pay to protect them. The stars outside the shuttle window glimmered like cold diamonds. Commander Alex Ward sat quietly in the cockpit, his hand shaking slightly over the controls. The silence was heavy. Behind him, Lyra and Neva slept, their faces pale under the dim blue lights. It had been 3 days since they escaped the dying planet. 3 days of drifting through endless darkness. The shuttle's systems were unstable, power was low, and oxygen was running out. But that wasn't the worst part. There was something following them. At first, Alex thought it was his imagination, just the stress and fear. But then he saw it. A faint red glow in the distance, moving when they moved, slowing when they slowed. It wasn't a star. It wasn't debris. It was watching them. He turned off the shuttle lights and whispered to himself, "It found us again." Lyra woke and came to his side. She didn't need words to understand. Her silver blue eyes reflected the same dread. She pointed to the scanner, a red dot pulsing closer. Alex nodded grimly. I know. He tried to speed up the shuttle, but the engines groaned. The system was overheating. A warning blinked on the display. Fuel reserves critical. He slammed his fist on the console. Come on, stay with me. The shuttle shook as if something massive brushed against it. The sound wasn't metal on metal. It was alive, a deep rumble that echoed through their bones. Neva woke, clutching her stomach. Her voice trembled. Hunter. Through the window, the creature came into view, a gigantic form, half machine, half flesh. Its body was black and glistening, with red lights crawling across it like veins. Enormous metallic wings extended from its back, powered by engines that roared like storms. Alex's breath caught. What in God's name are you? The creature opened what looked like a mouth, or maybe a speaker, and a deep mechanical voice echoed through space. You should not have left. Alex's skin turned cold. It can talk? The shuttle's lights flickered. Every control panel flashed with static symbols. The creature wasn't attacking yet. It was scanning them. Searching. Then the voice came again, this time in Alex's own voice. Commander Ward. You failed your mission. Lyra gripped his shoulder, her expression terrified. The sound was identical to his. The tone, the rhythm, even the breathing. It's copying me, Alex whispered. It's using my own voice. The red light grew brighter. The creature extended mechanical limbs toward the shuttle. Every alarm screamed. Alex shouted, "Hold on," and jerked the ship downward, diving through a field of shattered asteroids. Rocks spun past them, slamming into the hull. Sparks flew. Lyra screamed as a fragment pierced the outer layer, releasing a hiss of air. Alex sealed it quickly with emergency foam. "Keep her safe," he yelled, pointing to Neva, who was crying in pain. Her breathing was short and fast, her body reacting not only to fear but to the strange energy around them. The creature followed, breaking through asteroids like paper. Each movement caused a wave of red light to ripple through space. Alex's scanner blinked again, a faint energy source nearby, maybe a station or wreck. It was their only chance. "There," he shouted. "If we can reach it, maybe we can hide." The shuttle dived toward the signal. As they approached, a massive structure appeared out of the dark. A ruined alien fortress, floating in pieces held together by a weak gravitational field. Alex flew the shuttle through a broken gate, landing roughly inside a large hangar bay. The ship crashed sideways, sparks bursting from the engines. They had survived the landing, barely. Alex jumped out and helped Lyra carry Neva. The alien fortress was silent, covered in dust and strange symbols. The air was thin but breathable. They moved deeper inside, using the faint blue glow of the walls to guide them. Suddenly, the walls came alive. Holographic images flickered. Old alien soldiers, battles, ships leaving a planet. Alex recognized one of them. It looked exactly like the world they had escaped from. The recordings showed a massive war, machines turning against their creators, entire cities burning. Then a final message appeared on the wall, a symbol of Earth's flag, glowing faintly beneath alien script. Alex froze. "That's impossible," he touched the hologram. The alien script shifted into English letters. "The Watcher Program. Human origin detected. What does this mean?" he whispered. Before he could think further, a loud crash echoed through the hall. The hunter had arrived. The fortress shook violently as the creature tore through the outer walls. Its red eyes scanned the corridors. Its voice boomed through the halls, calm and haunting. "Return what belongs to us." Lyra screamed as part of the ceiling collapsed. Alex pulled her and Neva behind a pillar. He raised his plasma pistol, a weapon barely strong enough to dent armor, but he had no choice. He fired again and again. Bolts of blue energy hit the hunter's body, burning small holes, but the creature didn't stop. Then something strange happened. The fortress itself reacted. The walls pulsed with light. A deep vibration filled the air. Ancient machinery awoke. A huge beam of blue energy shot from the core of the structure, striking the hunter square in the chest. The creature roared, a mix of pain and rage, and its body cracked open, leaking red light into space. It staggered, then pulled back, vanishing into the shadows. For a few moments, everything was still. Alex collapsed to his knees, panting. Lyra helped Neva lie down. The green-skinned woman's breathing slowed, but her face was pale. "She's getting weaker," Lyra whispered. Alex looked around the glowing chamber. "We need to rest, then we find out what this place really is." He turned to the glowing Earth symbol on the wall. The words below it flickered again, new text appearing. "If you are reading this, you are not the first human here." Alex stared, his heart pounding. "Not the first?" He looked back toward the stars outside, where the red glow of the hunter still faintly pulsed in the distance. Something ancient had begun to wake, something tied to both humanity and these aliens. The alien fortress was quiet now. No sounds, no tremors, only the faint blue light that glowed from the walls like veins in a sleeping giant. Commander Alex Ward stood at the center of the main chamber, staring at the flickering hologram of Earth. He could hardly believe his eyes. Earth's flag floated above alien symbols, written thousands of years before humans had even reached space. It was as if humanity's past was hidden inside this place, waiting for him to find it. Behind him, Lyra tended to Neva, who lay weak and pale on a makeshift bed of alien fabric. Her breathing was soft but shallow. The child inside her was growing fast, far faster than normal. Alex clenched his fists. "Hang in there," he whispered. We'll get you home. I swear. He walked toward the console beneath the Earth symbol. Its surface was made of smooth black glass. As he reached out, a voice echoed through the room. Deep, calm, and human. DNA match confirmed. Welcome back, Commander Alex Ward. Alex froze. His heart raced. What did you just say? Commander Ward. Last human registered under Watcher Protocol. Mission continuity activated. Lyra's eyes widened. She couldn't understand the words, but she felt the energy change. The console lit up, showing images of Earth, oceans, cities, mountains. Then flashes of war, famine, and destruction. The voice continued. Project Watcher was created to preserve human legacy beyond extinction. If you are hearing this, Earth has survived. Or fallen. Alex took a step back, his mind spinning. Project Watcher? But that's impossible. I never heard of it. Records show. Commander Alex Ward, Horizon Program Deep Space Mission, classified under Watcher Command. He stared in disbelief. That means my mission wasn't just exploration. The realization hit him hard, and he wasn't just lost. He had been sent here for a reason he was never told. The hologram shifted again, revealing strange images. Humans standing beside aliens, building great cities together. Then red storms appeared. Machines attacked. The same creature, the hunters, appeared, destroying everything. The Watchers created guardians, the voice explained. But the machines turned against us. Only fragments of humanity survived among the stars. Alex whispered, so this fortress was human? Human in origin, alien in construction. A bond once made, now broken. The lights dimmed, and for a brief moment Alex saw his reflection in the glass. Tired, bruised, and older than he remembered. He turned toward Lyra and Neva. You hear that? Humans and your people. They once worked together. Maybe your ancestors and mine weren't strangers after all. Lyra didn't understand all his words, but she smiled faintly and placed a hand on her chest, her way of saying hope. The console beeped again. Warning. Unknown energy signature detected. Source, hybrid organism. Alex looked around, confused. Hybrid organism where? The scanner projected a light toward Neva. Her body glowed faintly under the scan. The light centered on her stomach. Hybrid life form detected. Composition 54% alien, 46% human. Stabilization critical. Alex's heart stopped. Her child. The system continued. Hybrid creation unauthorized. Sequence unstable. Possible genetic collapse in 36 hours. No, Alex shouted. He grabbed the console, desperate. How do I save her? Solution requires fusion with original human DNA source. He realized what that meant. The only source was him. Lyra looked at him, sensing his fear. Alex nodded slowly. If I have to give part of my DNA, I'll do it. Just tell me how. The machine extended a small arm, a needle-like device that glowed blue. Alex placed his hand on it. A sharp sting followed, and light spread through the chamber. Data filled the hologram, spinning fast. Neva gasped, her body trembling as the chamber lights brightened. Alex felt weak, as if the machine was draining his life. But he didn't stop. Then a deep tone filled the air, the sound of something awakening. DNA fusion complete. Hybrid stabilization successful. The light dimmed. Alex collapsed to his knees, gasping for breath. Lyra ran to him, holding his shoulders. Neva sat up slowly, breathing easier, her hands trembling as she touched her stomach. A faint heartbeat echoed through the room, strong and steady. Alex smiled weakly. You're safe. Both of you. But the moment of peace didn't last. The walls flickered again, this time with red light. The calm voice changed to static. Warning. External interference detected. Origin. The hunter. Alex's blood ran cold. On the hologram, the creature appeared, approaching the fortress from orbit. Its red lights burned brighter than before. Energy signature locked. The hunter seeks the hybrid, Alex shouted. Shut it out! Activate shields! Shields offline. Power reserves at 12%. Lyra grabbed his arm and pointed toward the hangar. She understood. They needed to run. Alex lifted Neva carefully. We're leaving. Now. As they hurried through the corridors, the walls trembled. Dust fell from the ceiling. Outside, the stars turned red, the hunter's scanners sweeping through space. When they reached the hangar, Alex saw something new, a small ship hidden beneath debris, glowing faintly with the same blue light as the fortress, of course. He muttered. A watcher vessel. He jumped into the cockpit and started the system. The controls responded to his touch instantly. The ship recognized him, like it had been waiting. Commander Alex Ward, access granted. Watcher ship EOS ready for launch. The engines roared to life, glowing bright blue. Lyra and Neva climbed aboard as the fortress walls began to collapse. The hunter's shadow covered everything. Hold on, Alex shouted. The EOS blasted forward, escaping through the collapsing structure just as the hunter's red beam struck the fortress. The explosion lit up the dark sky like a dying sun. Far from the blast, the ship drifted in silence. The women rested, exhausted. Alex sat in the pilot seat staring at the stars. The voice of the fortress echoed faintly through the comms. The last message of Project Watcher. Remember who you are, Commander. Humanity endures in those who protect, not those who conquer. Alex closed his eyes. Then I'll protect them, he whispered, even if it costs me everything. The ship EOS drifted through the vast sea of stars, its engines whispering like a tired heartbeat. Commander Alex Ward sat in the pilot's chair, staring at the empty black beyond the glass. He had escaped the dying fortress, but he knew it wasn't over. The hunter was still out there, waiting. Behind him, Lyra and Neva rested. The air inside the ship was warm, filled with the faint hum of alien energy. Lyra slept lightly, her silver blue skin glowing under the ship's soft light. Neva lay beside her, holding her stomach. Her face was calm, almost peaceful now after days of pain. Alex stood quietly watching them. You're strong, he whispered. Stronger than me. He turned back to the control panel, checking the scanners. A new signal blinked faintly on the screen, coming from deep ahead in the direction of Earth. But the code didn't look right. It wasn't a distress signal. It was repeating 3 words in mechanical English. Do not return. Alex frowned. What the hell does that mean? He ran the transmission through the ship's translator. The message repeated, louder this time, mixed with static. A human voice spoke between the noise. Alex Ward, if you hear this, stay away from Earth. They will take them. Alex's chest tightened. The voice sounded old, tired, and familiar. It was his own voice. He leaned closer to the console. That's impossible. Lyra woke, sensing the tension. She walked over, her silver eyes asking silently what was wrong. Alex pointed to the display. That's my voice. But I never said that. She tilted her head, confused, then placed her hand on his arm. Her eyes said what words could not. Danger is close again. Alex nodded. Yeah, I can feel it too. Moments later, the ship trembled. A low hum filled the air. Alarms blinked red. The scanners showed a massive shadow moving behind them. It found us, Alex said under his breath. The hunter, the creature-machine hybrid, tore through the void, glowing with blood-red light. Its wings unfolded like burning blades. Energy beams flared from its body, shaking the EOS. Brace yourselves, Alex shouted. He pulled the controls, sending the ship diving into a nearby asteroid field. Rocks the size of cities floated everywhere. The ship weaved between them, engines screaming. The hunter followed, tearing through the stones like they were dust. Inside, Neva screamed in pain, the stress of the chase pushing her body to the limit. Lyra tried to comfort her, but the ship jerked violently again. A rock clipped the wing, spinning the EOS out of control. Stabilizers offline. Alex yelled. The lights flickered, the engines coughed, and the ship began to fall toward a blue-gray planet below, one surrounded by a thin mist and a broken moon. We're going down. The EOS crashed through the planet's clouds, fire and smoke trailing behind it. Alex struggled with the controls, pulling every lever he could. The ship hit the surface hard, sliding across metallic sand until it stopped against a cliff. Silence. Smoke filled the air. Alex coughed and pushed himself up. Everyone alive? Lyra nodded weakly, helping Neva, who was crying softly. She whispered something in her own language. Alex didn't understand the words, but he knew the meaning. The baby was coming. Alex's eyes widened. Not now. Not here. But the child didn't wait. They found shelter in the wrecked ship, where part of the hull still held pressure and warmth. Lyra wrapped Neva in a thermal blanket. The sound of thunder rolled outside. Though there were no clouds, only electrical storms dancing through the sky. Alex sat beside them, shaking. He had faced alien beasts, deadly planets, and machines that mimicked gods. But this was different. This was life. Neva gripped his hand tightly, her eyes locked on his. There was no fear, only strength and trust. Minutes turned into hours. The storm raged outside. Then, with one final cry, the silence broke. A baby's first sound filled the air. It was soft, strange, and beautiful, a mix between a human cry and something unearthly. Lyra gasped, tears streaming down her face. Neva smiled weakly, whispering a name Alex couldn't pronounce. Alex held the child gently. Its skin shimmered faintly like silver dust under sunlight. And its eyes, those tiny eyes, were blue. Human blue, he whispered. Welcome to the world, little one. But peace lasted only moments. Outside, the sky turned red again. The hunter had found them. The ground shook as red beams tore through the cliffs. The baby cried louder as if sensing the danger. Alex grabbed the plasma rifle from the wall and turned to Lyra. You take her. Get her to the escape pod. Go now. Lyra shook her head. She wanted to stay. Don't argue, he shouted. You both have something worth protecting. I'll hold it off. He kissed Neva's forehead and ran outside. The red light blinded him. The hunter descended like a god of fire, its voice echoing through the storm. You cannot protect them, human. They are not yours. Alex raised his weapon, his voice steady. Maybe not. But they're under my care now. He fired again and again, blue plasma bolts slamming into the creature's armor. The hunter screamed, striking back with energy blasts that tore through the ground. Alex dove behind rocks, firing until his weapon overheated. He knew he couldn't win, not with force. But he could buy time. Inside the ship, Lyra carried Neva and the baby into the escape pod. Neva looked at Alex through the window, her eyes full of gratitude and sorrow. She pressed her hand to the glass. Lyra did the same. Then, with a deep breath, Lyra hit the launch button. The pod shot into the sky just as a red beam engulfed the ship. The explosion lit the entire horizon. Hours later, under the ashes of the wreck, Alex opened his eyes. The hunter was gone. The planet was silent again. His body was bruised and burned, but he was alive. He looked toward the sky and saw a faint trail of light, the pod escaping into the stars. He smiled weakly. You made it. Then his communicator crackled with a voice, soft, distant, and human. Commander Ward, this is Earth Command. We've received your signal. You're not alone anymore. Alex closed his eyes, tears mixing with ash. He whispered, It's not over yet. I'm coming home. The EOS floated in deep space, silent and scarred from battle. Commander Alex Ward sat at the pilot's seat, his hands shaking slightly as the stars drifted past the glass. Every bone in his body ached, but his eyes stayed fixed on one thing, the pale blue glow of Earth in the distance. He was finally going home. It had been 7 years since he'd seen it last. 7 years of pain, survival, and loss. Behind him, the cabin was quiet. Lyra cradled the newborn hybrid child in her arms, its tiny chest rising and falling softly. Naeva was gone, her sacrifice written in the stars they'd left behind. Alex whispered, You're safe now, both of you. But deep inside, he wasn't sure. As the EOS neared the solar system, the ship's sensors began to hum. Lines of data scrolled across the display. New satellites, strange energy fields, and heavy orbital defenses. Earth Command, this is Commander Alex Ward of Horizon 1, he said into the comms. Requesting permission to land, static. Then a robotic voice replied, Identify yourself. Your mission has been terminated for 6 years. You are entering restricted orbit. Alex frowned. Terminated? This is my home planet. Your voice pattern is recognized but classified as lost personnel. Maintain position until further notice. Something felt wrong. The Earth he remembered had been full of warmth and unity. This one sounded cold. He turned to Lyra. She looked at him with worry, clutching the baby tighter. Her eyes seemed to ask, Is this really your world? Alex hesitated before answering softly. It was. 2 hours later, 2 sleek ships approached. They weren't military like he remembered. Their design was sharper, cleaner, with alien curves mixed with human steel. A man's voice came through the comms, smooth and controlled. Commander Ward, this is Admiral Sloan of Global Defense Council. Welcome home. Prepare for escort to Lunar Station Alpha for debriefing. Alex exhaled in relief. Finally, someone real. But when they landed on the gray surface of the moon, his relief disappeared. The station was enormous. Glass towers, drones hovering, soldiers in black armor. It didn't look like Earth's past. It looked like its future. As the hatch opened, a group of officers surrounded the ship. Alex stepped out first, raising his hands calmly. Behind him, Lyra followed, holding the child close. The soldiers immediately raised their weapons. "Hold your fire!" Alex shouted. "She's not a threat." Admiral Sloan approached, his face expressionless. "So it's true. You brought them back," Alex nodded. "They're survivors. They saved my life." "That child is innocent." Sloan's eyes narrowed. "That child is not human." Alex stepped forward. "It's half human. My blood saved her. She's proof of something we don't understand yet." Sloan gestured to his men. "Take them to containment." The soldiers moved in. Lyra screamed as they tried to pull the baby from her arms. Alex fought back, knocking one guard to the ground. "Don't touch them," he yelled. Within seconds, a pulse weapon fired. Alex's vision blurred, his body collapsing to the floor. The last thing he saw before darkness took him was Lyra's face, terrified, reaching for him as soldiers dragged her away. When he woke, he was in a white room. No windows, no sound, just the hum of machines. A holographic screen flickered on the wall, showing Admiral Sloan's face. "Where are they?" Alex demanded. "They're safe," Sloan said coldly. "Under medical observation." "Observation?" Alex shouted. "You mean locked up?" Sloan sighed. "You have no idea what you brought back, Commander. That child's DNA contains something that could change everything. Human evolution, biology, even our control over it. We can't risk it spreading." Alex clenched his fists. "You don't even see it, do you? She's not a threat, she's a bridge. Proof that humanity can exist beyond war and fear." Sloan's expression hardened. "And you think the world is ready for that?" Hours later, Alex sat in silence, staring at his reflection in the glass wall. His face looked older, worn. His eyes carried years of loss. Then the room lights flickered. The screen turned off. A new voice whispered through the intercom. Soft, female, calm. "Commander Ward, you don't know me, but I'm here to help." He looked around, startled. "Who is this?" "My name is Dr. Evelyn Myra. I lead a private division within the Global Council. We've been watching you since your signal returned." Alex frowned. "Watching me, why?" "Because the Council lied to you. They didn't just want to contain the aliens. They wanted to control them. Your mission, Horizon 1, wasn't an exploration. It was an experiment." Alex's heart stopped. "Experiment?" "Yes, Project Watcher wasn't just about preserving humanity. It was about recreating it." He slammed his fist against the wall. "You used me. And now they're going to use the child." A door on the far side of the room unlocked with a click. "Go now," Evelyn said quickly. "You don't have much time." Alex ran. He sprinted through cold hallways, alarms starting to ring. Guards shouted. Drones chased him. He broke through a maintenance door, sliding down a metal shaft until he landed in a dim hangar. There, surrounded by crates and small craft, stood Lyra, her eyes glowing faintly blue. She was holding the baby, tears streaking down her face. Alex rushed to her. "How did you—" She shook her head, no words. She just handed him the child. The baby looked at him and smiled. A tiny, perfect smile that made the whole universe feel small. Behind them, footsteps thundered closer. Alex turned to Lyra. "If we run now, they'll never stop hunting us." She touched his face gently, her eyes filled with determination. Then she whispered a single word in her language, one he'd learned by heart. "Together." He nodded. They climbed into a small shuttle, sealing the hatch just as soldiers burst in. Alarms blared, lights flashed red. The engines roared. The shuttle shot out of the hangar, racing toward the blue glow of Earth. In the cockpit, Alex looked at the sleeping child, then at the planet below. He whispered, "You wanted a new world, Sloan. We'll give you one." The stars shimmered as the ship entered the atmosphere, streaking like a falling flame. The lost astronaut, the alien mother, and the hybrid child returning to a planet that no longer felt like home. The small shuttle cut through the clouds like a falling star. Flames licked its wings as it entered the blue skies of Earth, a world that looked familiar yet strange. Commander Alex Ward held the controls tightly, sweat dripping down his brow. The engines screamed, the alarms blared, but he refused to slow down. Beside him sat Lyra, her eyes wide with awe as she looked through the window. The vast oceans glimmered below. The continents stretched across the curve of the planet. Her child and their child slept quietly in her arms. After 7 years lost in the dark, Alex was home, but it didn't feel like home anymore. "Brace for landing," he shouted. The shuttle hit the ground hard, sliding across an empty desert plain. Sand and smoke filled the air until the engines died with a final sputter. Silence followed, heavy and absolute. Alex coughed, unbuckling his seatbelt. "We made it," he whispered. Lyra looked at him, tired but smiling faintly. The baby stirred in her arms and let out a soft coo, half human, half alien, the sound strangely musical. Alex stepped outside. The sky was orange from sunset, and in the distance giant metallic towers rose from the earth. Drones floated silently between them like mechanical birds. "This isn't the Earth I left," he muttered. "It's something else." Moments later, the ship's radio flickered to life. A cold voice filled the air. "Commander Alex Ward, you are under arrest by order of the Global Defense Council. Surrender the alien entities immediately." Alex's jaw tightened. They didn't waste time. Lyra looked at him questioningly. He pointed at the towers far away. "They know we're here." Before he could say more, the baby began to glow, a soft white light pulsing from her skin. The radio cracked and hissed. Every channel went silent. Then a new sound filled the air. A heartbeat. Slow. Rhythmic. Echoing through every device. Alex stared at the child. "She's doing that?" Lyra nodded slowly. The baby's eyes opened. Deep, shining blue mixed with streaks of silver. And then, the entire sky changed. Across Earth, every screen, every satellite, every drone, every hologram flickered. The same image appeared everywhere. Alex, Lyra, and the glowing child standing in the desert. People all over the planet watched in shock. Alex felt his heart race. "It's broadcasting us, how?" A voice spoke, not from the baby's mouth, but from everywhere at once. Calm, pure, and powerful. "We are not here to conquer. We are not here to divide. We are here because life does not belong to one world alone." The world froze. This child carries both stars, human and alien, in one heart. Fear will destroy her, but love will save all of you. The message was simple, but it hit every human who heard it like thunder. Alex fell to his knees. "She's speaking for both of us." Lyra smiled softly, tears glimmering in her silver eyes. But far above, the Global Defense Council reacted in panic. Admiral Sloan stood before a wall of screens, shouting orders. "Cut the signal. Destroy the source before it spreads." "Sir," a soldier cried, "it's in the satellites, the networks. It's rewriting our systems." Sloan's face turned pale. "Then use the orbital cannons. Target that location. Now."